right. The market closed for the day. It's been a little crazy how much the market just been up, down, all over the place.
I love your car. I was wondering, what do you do for a living?
It's feel like one of those videos where it'd be like, what do you do?
No, I'm not. I'm out here with my family, and we going to the park, and I was like, once I seen you walking up to the Rolls Royce, I was like, I'm gonna ask him what do you do for a living.
Yeah, I invest in the stock market. And my YouTube channel, I talk about the stock market on it, actually.
I am a videographer and, I'm pretty much a videographer and a filmmaker and a cinematographer.
Okay,
so get
out of here.
You know, usually that's why I always ask, because people always need video business, you know, and stuff like that. So I would love to, you have a Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on the ground.
Because how about this? How about, this is my family going to the park.
Oh, it's all good.
My wife got me mad. She be like, why you trying to talk to people?
Hey, that's you gotta tap in.
That's why I told her. I said, skip all that. What's your name, brother?
It's at Brown Report.
Brown Report?
Yeah.
This she right here?
Yeah, we got a blue check.
For sure. Let me, I do a lot of video edits for, a couple of people who, of course, are Instagram, and I do one for one influencer who is in social media marketing and stuff like that. So I would love to tap in with you, show you, you know, add a little bit of value to your business and show you what I can do, you know. So my name is Julian.
Julian? Jason Brown, man.
Jason. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, I'm gonna shoot you a DM later on today. And,
I'm always looking.
Are you local? Like, you local in there?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure then. Yeah, I'm 2 hours or 4 or 5 minutes down the block. So
okay.
I'll definitely shoot you a DM, and I would love to come out, see what your plan is for social media, see what you got going on, and let me come add some value to you. And you know, it's like I tell people, I don't really like to. If I'm meeting you, I want to see what you're about. Come show you what I can do, and if we can go from there, you know, I would love to, like I said, just come out and shoot some stuff for you.
Oh, for sure. What's your first name one more time?
Julian.
Julian.
And it was Jason
Brown.
Right?
Yeah, we double J.
Double J. So I'm gonna definitely shoot you something today, and then hopefully we can link next week.
Yeah, you got that come right here to the phone.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Good to meet you, brother.
Yep.
What's your Instagram handle?
I just followed you. It's Bandit and Company.
Okay, check out Bandit and Company.
Well, thank y'all. I appreciate it.
How
man.
you spell it?
BANDET and Co.
There it is.
Yep. I want to also launch a YouTube because I want to do that too. So
why not?
Yeah, you know, it's gonna be called Artists of Innovation, where I try to sit down with people. We have a topic and we do an interview, but at the same time we have 2 canvases and we paint a picture on a topic that we discussing. So I'm gonna try to do that and get connect with influential people around the greater Michigan area, and hopefully, you know, I can launch that off this year as well. So
okay,
follow your dreams, man. That's all I gotta say, man. I quit my job last year. I used to work for a telecommunications company, and you know, a lot of people doubted me. And I tell you this much, just follow your dreams and stick to you, and always try to provide value before you ask for anything else.
What telecom company did you work for?
I worked for Comcast.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I used to work for Comcast.
You did? What'd you used to do?
I was a regional manager.
Oh, I got up to a Comtech 3.
Okay.
I worked there for 6 years. I'm only 26.
I wonder if you know my boy Toby.
Toby, what's last name?
I don't know what Toby. Toby was like a supervisor over I
worked out of Sterling Heights.
Okay, I was out of Plymouth. We was out of Plymouth.
That's 2 different. Yeah, 2 different systems. Yeah. Yeah. So I worked for Comcast for 6 years. Got in there when I was 20. And
I was with them for 5 years.
Yeah, and then I was just like, I seen a guy. He was like, I'm only 26, but when this happened to me, it was an epiphany. And he was, I want to say 45, 46. And they put us in like a training because my numbers was dipping down, and I was at a point where I just didn't care anymore. And we was in a training. It was like 15 of us. And it was a lot of dudes in there that was a 10-year, you know, been there for 15, 20 years. And he was just complaining. And he was just like, man, this job, such and such. I'm getting sick of this. And he was 45, and I think I was 22, 24, something like that. So I seen myself in him, and I just looked at him.
To spend another 20 years.
I looked at him, and it just was like an epiphany. If you ever know J. Cole, he has a song called "Tale of Two Cities," And it just was in my mind. He just was like, I got to get the heck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I just looked at him and I was like, oh, I got to quit because I can't be here, you know. And I wanted to ask him, I wanted to be like, well, why didn't you just quit? Like, why you complaining? You've been here for 20 years. Why didn't you follow something else you wanted to do? You know?
Yeah.
But so that's why I quit my job. I went last year, and I've been on the trail blazing. I didn't work for Harley Davidson. I did stuff for Mercedes Benz. I did stuff for Cadillac.
So you kind of followed your passion in videography.
And I just did it. But the issue is I see a lot of people fail because they don't try to provide value before they ask for something. I just shot for one of the biggest charities in Michigan called Angels of Hope. And
yeah, they had that thing at Birmingham, I think.
Yep,
yeah.
And they had, because they got something. They always have something right here every year, and it's called Night of Hope. And I just happened to, because I was in Mercedes linked with somebody, and he worked for a company that was doing something inside of there. So I was like, let me come through for you. Man, I came through, and I think about providing value so much. I interviewed the whole board of the charity. You know, there's another videographer, but he packed up when his job was done. You know, people be like, all right, I'm only getting paid for this. So this time I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I sat down with the whole board, interview, I want to say probably 8 out of the 10 members of the board, and I'm stitching together a video for them so that they have something to put together for their website, and I'm stitching together reels for them and stuff. So I just tell people, try to provide value, because that has put me in so much positions with people who know what they're doing versus you asking for something. Like, oh, I got this service. You see what I can do. You know, I need 1,500. I need 2,000. I need 7,000. Just try to provide value, and you'll always get, you know, I'm not saying get shysted over. You'll never be broke. But you'll never be broke if you provide value. So, but thank you, Jason. I mean, taking too much of your time.
No, you good, brother.
Yep,
it's always cool to meet people who passionate, following their dreams. That's what we out here trying to do. Motivate people, share the information.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got to. I wanted, that's when you say you was in the stock market and stuff. I hate learning about the stock market. So I was like, you know, it'll be good. I can provide value to somebody else, and he can provide value to me. Maybe we can trade off information. I can show you some things. So,
and maybe you'll like it after, you know.
I think I will too. It's just too. I grew up in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I tell people I got a 3rd grade education reading level because you know, Detroit public schools is not the best. I'll be like, I don't like looking at a whole bunch of numbers. I can stitch together beautiful quality video. I can stitch together, create a plan for social media, and we make sure that your stuff is popping with some really good visuals. But when it comes to numbers, I'll be like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You following your passion and you making money from it. That's what's important.
For sure, man. So,
yeah, so good to meet you, brother.
Of course. Like I said, I'm going to link with you, bro.
For sure.
Y'all have a good one.
So powerful. You just never know who you run into. I just came up here because it's a beautiful day. Figure I'd take a little walk, talk, give y'all a different view from my office when we shoot. So that's what we doing. But man, that's kind of cool. He kind of made me think about a different direction to take this video in. But so glad that brother following his passion, and you can just see his excitement for what he doing and with his work. Say he do videography and stuff like that. And then I was just really talking about when I got out the car about how like the stock market has been kind of crazy right now. It's been up, it's been down, but I truly believe this. I think in the next 5 years, literally, I believe the new millionaire is going to be created, and I believe the existing one's going to get even richer, because right now is a time where people are scared of the stock market. People are scared of investing because they're starting to realize that stocks don't always go up. But people also don't understand that this is the time where the rich get richer and where the new millionaires get created. Just like that young brother was talking about, you know, not being scared to follow your passion, follow your dream, not being scared to quit his job. You got to have that same energy when it comes to investing in the stock market. You can't be scared to put money to work and worry about losing it, because you got to understand something. You got to understand, when you think about anything in life, you think about something like the weather starting to change, everybody out walking. What happens is certain people be like, oh, I'm about to get summer ready and work on my body. Now that the summer here. But it's the people who was working on their body in the winter when it was cold, in the basement doing push-ups when they couldn't get outside on the treadmill. It's those people, now that the sun getting ready to shine, it's those people that's about to enjoy the fruits of their labor. It's those people that's going to have the summer body. It's those people that's going to be ready to find their next spouse, their next mate. Those people will be ready to go to the beach, ready to turn off, or whatever the case may be. And so you got to understand that there is a season to plant, a season to work out, a season to get ready, and then there's a season where the harvest, where the fruit grows. There's a season where the trees start to bloom. And right now, we in something very similar with the stock market. It's a season where a lot of the stocks have fallen over 50% off. And it's like, what you waiting for? You waiting for the stocks to fall 75% off? Because that's probably not going to happen. And so once we done fell a good 50%, we had, the reality is what's left for most stocks to go is where? It's back up. Because the economy not getting worse. The economy then kind of bottomed. We done already seen the worst. We done seen high inflation rates. We seen people get laid off. We seen, we done saw high gas prices, price of eggs and stuff, all that went up. So when they go up, the only place left now is for interest rates to come back down, the price of eggs to come back down, inflation to come down. We done already spiked up. Think about it. Stocks went up. Stocks went up because what? Interest rates was low. Government was pumping a bunch of money into the economy. Everybody was getting stimulus. They was trying to prop the economy up because of the pandemic, right? So stocks went up. Now they reversed course. Stocks fell over 50%. Certain stocks. You take a look at Tesla was $400. Now it's down to $200. Was a little under at the time of this recording. Amazon was $200. Now it's a $100 stock. Google was $200. Now it's a $100 stock. So things then fell over 50% because now they reversing all the money that they pumped into the economy, all the stimulus that they put in, all the low interest rates. So stocks fell, interest rates, inflation, all that stuff went up. But it can't keep going up. It's most likely then hit a ceiling. So if it's hit its ceiling and interest rates is on this way back down, inflation is on this way back down, then where is it left for stocks to go? Not further down. They go stabilize, and then they go eventually start to turn back up as the economy improves, as the feds lay off interest rate hikes, etc. Now, when is that going to happen? Trying to time it exactly, precisely, or specifically, that's not the game that we play. The game that we play is understanding that a transition is going to happen and making sure that you are in position when the transition happens. Making sure that you got some skin in the game so as things start to turn back around, we can start to benefit from that rise as well as having the option strategies to when things get back to normal, which define normal. In a normal economy, normal healthy economy, you got to think about it. The stock market long term goes up when we're in a normal, positive, thriving environment. You look back through 9/11, you look back through the '08 real estate crash, you name it, tech bubble burst. Those were abnormal moments in history. And those abnormal moments bring us down, but they bring us down short term. Pandemic happened, brought us down, but how long did it bring us down? Only for a year. After that, everything else started skyrocketing. And now we got to reverse that with high interest rates. We got to curb inflation. And so this is another abnormal thing that we're going through, where once the reset happens, we can get back to a normal environment. In a normal environment, stocks go up. But that's what's powerful about what we do. That's what's powerful about having the right knowledge, is that we don't have to just wait for stocks to go up. We can make money from them going sideways and make money from them going down. And so I want you guys to be thinking about, if the new millionaires are going to be created in the next 5 years, people that are already millionaires are going to run up multi-millions in the next 5 years, where do you sit in that equation? Where do you sit in this whole scheme of things? Are you on the sidelines saying, when the summer get here, I'm gonna start working out, which is equivalent to I'm gonna start finally learning now that everything is going back up? You're not gonna be ready. You haven't been planting, you haven't been harvesting, you haven't been getting ready, so ain't no fruit go grow on them trees, because now you like, oh, now it's time to plant. Then what happened is, by the time you start planting, it gets cold, it's winter again, and your crops get killed, and you like, I knew planting didn't work. It's like, no, you just planted in the wrong season. So we need to be planting, watering, putting soil down now, which is learning the market, practicing the market, opening our trading account, starting with a small amount, learning the strategies, so that if you can survive in this market, you'll be able to thrive when we return to a regular economy. Y'all, let's go. Let me know in the comments where you are. And remember, you never go broke taking a profit. 5-year millionaire. Check the comments below. Check the description below. If you want to tap in and join the movement, I'm on a movement where the next 5 years, I want to see a bunch of millionaires come through, people I have touched, mentored, and helped personally. If you want to be one of them, check the description. Tap in with me. 5-year millionaire.